everyone, welcome back to my channel. Currently I am at 2700 Kipling Avenue, which is in the Kipling and Steeles area of Toronto. Some call it Rexdale, some call it Etobicoke. On September 29th, that spot that I'm pointing at, where next to the white van, is where 21-year-old Amir Naraine was found dead in the back of his car. He had been shot and left there to die, or maybe he was already dead, we're not sure. He was with friends. The last time he was seen alive was on September 28th of 2019. These friends were so close to him that they even called his mom. And like I said, the last time he was seen by his family members were earlier during the day on September 28th, 2019. And by September 29th, the next day, he wasn't seen or heard from his family. And this is not something that he was known to do. He used to live in this neighborhood. This was his old neighborhood, and it's somewhere where he frequented a lot. But he lived in Caledon, which is just outside Brampton, Ontario, with his mother and stepfather. So when they see that he didn't come home that night and they haven't heard by him the next morning, they were worried. They were about to file a police report, on September 29th, when they got a call from one of his friends saying that Amir had been shot, along with another friend of theirs. His brother, Amir, rushed to the hospital where the friend was in Toronto. I'm not sure which hospital it was, that wasn't disclosed, but he got there and the friend told him that yes, Amir was shot, but where was he didn't know. All he could disclose was the shooting happened in Brampton, but he didn't know where in Brampton. That's weird.
You went to the hospital and you met someone else who was shot.
Yes, that was with Amir.
So at the same place where Amir
Yes.
was shot. And do you know where that was?
No, he says he doesn't know. He said it happened in Brampton, but he doesn't know where in Brampton.
So the family now was getting ready to file a police report when another family member of theirs called them and said they were watching the news and saw the story where a body had been found in the back of a car, and the car looks like Amir's. I guess they figured it out from the license plates, I'm not sure. But then the stepfather rushed here to the plaza to see what was going on, and police wouldn't let him, go look at the car. Obviously it's an investigation. They don't want to compromise the scene. It's been more than 2 years now. So like I said, this happened in September of 2019. We're now in July of 2021. And no one has come forward to say what happened. Amir's car was driven here by two people that we're assuming that were friends of his. Some kind of friends they are. But they drove the car here with Amir in the back seat. This was after midnight. So this was, the very early morning of September 29th. And they left him here. It's likely a possibility that Amir was still alive at that point. It's kind of hard to decipher that. His body was found later that day at around 7:25 p.m. A car drove up to Amir's car, looked into the back window. Then at 7:30, a call was placed to 911 saying that someone was passed out in the back of their car. When police got here, they found Amir's body. At first, they thought he had been stabbed, but then after the autopsy and, further investigation, they found out that he was shot multiple times. His life could have been potentially saved. We don't know because 911 wasn't called. If he and his friend were shot at the same location at the same time, how did the friend arrive at hospital and Amir didn't? Why wasn't 911 called? There's a hospital in Brampton. Why wasn't he driven to the hospital in Brampton? Etobicoke General is probably about 5 or 7 minutes drive away from this location. Why wasn't he driven to the hospital and at least dropped there? They just drove him here. They were supposed to be friends of his. They just drove him here and left him here dying or already dead. And they won't disclose anything to the family. They haven't come forward or said anything to police. Amir was a hardworking young man, as described by his family members. Like I said, he was 21. He was working as an installer with, I believe it was a TTC or a company that's associated with the TTC. They installed marketing campaigns in the subways. He loved animals and he wanted to eventually attend college and study zoology, I think it's called. And he wanted to work at the Toronto Zoo because he had a love for animals. But he didn't get to complete all of that. No one knows what happened. Was he hanging out with friends? Was he at a party and a fight erupted and he was shot? He wasn't the intended target. Was he targeted? What happened? Nobody knows. This case could definitely be solved. But like I said, those who have information, they haven't come forward to say anything. I understand that they might be scared. I get that. Because once you come forward to police and you disclose things, they want you to go to court and testify. And then sometimes you can be the target. I get that. I understand that. But you could at least, you know, call Crime Stoppers anonymously and say something. The family wants answers. Why is it okay that you're just out there living your life? And I'm sure this is on their chest. I'm sure they feel, well, I shouldn't say sure, because if they were feeling guilty, if they felt bad about it, they would come forward. But then when you're scared, you know, I have to look at it from their perspective. But if it were you, you would want your family to have answers. They were, like I said, they were so close to the family that they used to call his mom. You know, Amir had no criminal record. He wasn't known to police. He wasn't a troublemaker. You know, by all accounts, everyone speaks highly of him. So how did he end up here? How did he end up here? Why wasn't 911 called? Why wasn't he taken to the, just like how they dropped him off here and, you know, didn't say anything until hours later? Why couldn't you drop him off at the hospital? You were already caught on camera because they can be identified because you know it was nighttime and the cameras didn't pick up that clearly. But they could have easily dropped him off at the emergency section or the emergency entrance of the hospital and leave. That would have been better. That would have been giving him some sort of dignity. They just dropped him here and walked off so nonchalantly, like nothing, like it was okay. And then the fact that someone came back hours later to look in the back of his car, like what were they expecting to find? That he recovered and got out the car? Like, I don't understand this. Someone knows something. I will be posting all the information in the description box below. If you want to reach out to Crime Stoppers, say something. This is, from the first time I heard about this case, it troubled me. Because as a mother, if something like this happened to any of my children, I would want answers. This is something that would, you know, be on my chest. It would be on in my mind. I don't even want to imagine what his mother is going through.
The spot will be marked for life. My baby died in this spot. I just want to sit with him. Sit with him and talk with him. I want him to show me signs or tell me something that I can do to help him. I want him to know he didn't die alone.
She comes to this location a couple times a week to sit and talk to him and put up, you know, remembrance flowers and stuff like that. Of course they get removed, you know, because the plaza removes it. But this is just a sad story. She's still hoping to get answers, and I know there are answers out there. His brother, his stepfather, but his entire family need answers. If you happen to be one of his friends that were involved, and you might know something, call Crime Stoppers and just let them know. You don't have to identify yourself. Just give this family some answers, please. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.